Pay attention because this changes everything. Most people spend their entire lives believing that working harder is the secret to becoming rich. Wake up earlier, work longer, take on more responsibility, earn more money, and eventually financial success will follow. But here's what they don't realize. Hard work can increase your income, but income alone does not create wealth. There are people working 60 or 70 hours every week who still struggle to pay their bills, while others have built significant wealth without working every waking hour. The difference isn't always effort, it's what happens to the money after it's earned. If you enjoy practical personal finance videos that make complicated money concepts simple, make sure to subscribe, because today's video could completely change the way you think about work, income, and wealth. The first thing you need to understand is that income and wealth are two completely different things. Income is the money you receive from your job, business, or other sources. Wealth is the value of the assets you own after subtracting your debts. Someone can earn $200,000 a year and still have very little wealth if they spend almost everything they make. Another person might earn $70,000 but consistently save, invest, and build assets for 20 years. Eventually, the second person could have far more financial security. A high income gives you the opportunity to build wealth, but it doesn't guarantee that you'll actually build it. That's why working harder isn't the real goal. The real goal is increasing the value of your time while making sure your money doesn't depend entirely on your time. If you earn money only when you're physically working, there is a natural limit to your income. You only have so many hours in a day. Eventually, working more becomes impossible. You need sleep, rest, family time, and a life outside of work. This is why people who build long-term wealth focus on creating assets that can potentially generate value without requiring them to work another hour for every dollar. This is also why compound growth matters so much. When you invest and leave your returns invested, those returns can potentially generate additional returns. Your money begins building on previous growth. You don't have to personally work for every dollar of that future growth. Time does some of the work for you. The earlier you start, the more time compounding has to operate, but even people who start later can benefit from consistent investing. The mistake is believing that because you didn't start early, you shouldn't start at all. Another major factor is your ability to increase your earning power. Working harder isn't always the best way to earn more. Sometimes the smarter move is becoming more valuable. Learning a specialized skill, gaining a certification, developing leadership abilities, improving sales skills, learning technology, or entering a higher demand industry can increase the amount you're paid for each hour of work. Instead of simply working more hours, you're increasing the value of the hours you already work. Businesses can use a similar principle. A person who owns a small business but personally handles every customer, every sale, every administrative task, and every operational problem may simply have created another job for themselves. A scalable business is different. Systems, employees, technology, processes, and intellectual property can allow the business to produce more without requiring the owner to personally perform every task. That's why ownership can become so powerful. You're not simply being paid for your hours. You're building something that can potentially operate beyond those hours. But even a high income won't make you wealthy if you don't control your spending. This is where budgeting becomes important. Some people hear the word budget and immediately think about restriction or deprivation. A good budget isn't about preventing you from enjoying your money. It's about making sure your money is going where you actually want it to go. If you earn $100,000 but don't know where your money goes every month, you may have less financial control than someone earning $60,000 who knows exactly how much they save, invest, and spend. The wealthy mindset isn't necessarily about spending as little as possible. It's about spending intentionally. You can spend money on things that genuinely improve your life while still protecting your future. The problem is spending money simply because you can. Every dollar has a job. It can provide something valuable today, or it can potentially become an asset that provides value tomorrow. The strongest financial decisions balance both. Debt is another reason hard work alone doesn't create wealth. Imagine working extra hours and earning an additional $1,000 a month, only to send most of that money toward high-interest credit card debt. Your effort is generating income, but the interest is taking much of it away. That's why eliminating expensive debt can be one of the most important steps toward financial independence. Once those payments disappear, the money that previously went to interest can be redirected towards savings and investments. Someone driving an older paid-off car while investing every month may be financially stronger than someone driving a brand new luxury vehicle with a huge loan. The first person may not look impressive, but their financial position could be improving every month. That's an important lesson because modern culture constantly encourages us to display success instead of building it. True wealth often looks boring from the outside. It can look like automatic retirement contributions, a growing investment account, an emergency fund, a paid-off credit card, and a modest lifestyle that costs less than the household earns. It isn't always exciting enough for social media, but these are the habits that can create genuine financial freedom over time. Financial freedom is ultimately about options. Imagine having enough savings that losing your job wouldn't immediately become a crisis. Imagine having investments that continue growing while you're sleeping. Imagine being able to leave a bad workplace because you have financial breathing room. Imagine reaching retirement without depending entirely on your next paycheck. That's what wealth can provide. It isn't simply about owning expensive things. It's about having control over your time and decisions. This is why the better question isn't, how can I work harder? It's, how can I make the work I'm already doing create more value? Maybe that means developing a better skill. Maybe it means negotiating your salary. Maybe it means starting a business. Maybe it means investing consistently. Maybe it means cutting unnecessary expenses and redirecting the difference into assets. Often, the answer is a combination of all of these. You don't need to completely change your life tomorrow. Start with one system. Track where your money is going. Build an emergency fund. Pay down high-interest debt. Contribute to your retirement plan. Invest consistently. When your income increases, increase your savings rate before increasing your lifestyle. Over time, these decisions can become automatic. And once good financial habits become automatic, wealth building becomes much easier. So don't misunderstand the message. Hard work absolutely matters. It can change your career, increase your income, build your confidence, and create opportunities. But hard work should be the beginning of your wealth strategy, not the entire strategy. Work hard to increase your income, then use that income intelligently. Control your lifestyle, eliminate expensive debt, build an emergency fund, invest consistently. Acquire assets, develop skills that increase your value, give your money time to compound. Because eventually, the goal isn't to work harder forever. The goal is to reach a point where the work you've already done continues producing value for you. If this video changed the way you think about work, income, and wealth, make sure to subscribe for more practical personal finance strategies. We break down complicated money topics into simple ideas you can actually use. Remember, working hard can change your income, but working smart with the money you earn can change your financial future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.